Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
You know, I've got to be fair and honest. This one that I'm going to read this morning is aimed right at me. If you want to jump in the boat with me, think about this. Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. Amen. Good morning. Here comes Kate Smith and God Bless America, followed by a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance on a Thursday. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. I'm Zeb Bell, Zeb at the Ranch, with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations right now involved in a great big spring tire sale at your Les Schwab Tire Centers. And don't forget, too, our thanks go out to Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Thank you very much. And Valley Wine Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch at Valley Wide Home and Ranch. Right now, let's go to the phone lines. And do we have a pledger this morning?
We do.
All right. Pledger, go ahead, please.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Can you do the Pledge of Allegiance for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is this Abby?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't recognize you this morning. Thanks, Abby. How you been?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm excellent. Thank you. Say hello to your whole family for me, would you please?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks much, Abby. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yes. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. But we've got the weather right now, and the weather's brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design at 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the Blue Door. Oh, my goodness. They got a lot of things going on over there. May 1st, they're going to have another girls' night out. Come on in and make some of the craft items. And don't forget, they've got 30% off commercial carpet for all the month of April. Oh, and they've got great ideas for your home decorating at Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley, 678-6945. Look for the Blue Door. Right now, here's Michael Rogers' weather.
You're all done with the rain and the snow and the wind and whatever I got to conjure up for this spring weekend. Morning, everybody. Now, the good news is that it's going to be sunny all day today. The good news also is that there's going to be very little wind. The good news is that it's going to stay sunny all the way through the weekend. The good news after all of that, are you ready? Are you ready? Everybody breathe now. Temperatures get warmer all the way up to Sunday. 61 for the high today. By the time you get to Sunday, it should be 72. So for those golfers, and you know who I'm talking about, because you're going to try to avoid to do everything, and then you're going to try and walk out that house and head over to the golf course in Burley to play some golf. You need to do your chores now. The water is already grassed. You need to cut it, get it nice, so you can go play golf. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
I love it. Michael, thank you so much. Michael Rogers Weather, brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Yep, look for the blue door. Give them a call, 678-6945. Hey, let's sell some cattle. Merv May, come on in here, would you please?
He gets the steer calves there, here to get all the 31, 31 going out.
That's the world's best auctioneer right there, Merv May, at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Merv May, Cade Rogge, and Lance Udy. And the sale time this morning, 10 a.m. Get there, be there. And call them at 678-9411 for more information. They're going to have butcher cows coming in today from the TLK Dairy. And David Naylor, hello, David out of the Sequoias, bringing in 15 head of Holstein heifers. Butcher cows coming in from Moo Mountain, South Ridge Dairy, and East Ridge Dairy. And they are going to have a really good, ripping good trailer line run today. Sale time at 10 a.m. at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, he gets the steer calves there, here to get all the 31, 31 going out, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 135, 50, 135, selling $1.35. Zeb Bell, get the bottom again.
Oh, man, Merv, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to start off and remind you, April 25th, Saturday, April 25th, not this weekend, next weekend, up there at Elba by the cemetery, the Elmo Boy Scouts are going to have a turkey shoot, and they're going to have lots and lots of prizes, along with food for purchase and a silent auction, so everybody be there, and for more information, you can call Dan Tracy at 431-5511. There you go. Hey, Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Don't forget them, 2600 Overland Avenue, and the number, 678-0459. They've got all your light bulbs. They've got all the fluorescent lights. They got all the ballast and the repair parts. They've got your fuses, your wire, and your cords, wiring, everything for your electrical and heating needs at Ramsey Heating and Electric. We're going to be talking to Rita a little bit later on this morning. They open the doors at 7:30 in the morning until 5, Monday through Friday. You stop over and see them today. Ramsey Heating and Electric, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. Oh, and don't forget, too, lots of things. There are so many things going on over at Valley White Home and Ranch. I'm not kidding. 910 South Oneida in Rupert. We stopped in there just for a few minutes yesterday and saw some friends of ours we haven't seen for a long time. And you'll see all your friends there because that's where the best deals and buys are at Valley White Home and Ranch. Don't forget that 4-Hers, you can get 10% off on all your feed and your different equipment needs. If you're a 4-Her, stop in there at Valley White Home and Ranch. Mandy and Sean, the whole crew, can help you. And by the way, too, they're going to be having a free kids growing seminar with University of Idaho, Tony McCammon, and he's going to teach kids how to grow plants and how to take care of plants. It's going to be from 4:30 to 6 on May 5th. So put that on your calendar at Valley White Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Really, really good people. How safe is the White House? How safe is our Capitol? Or all the other buildings and monuments in Washington, D.C.? How safe are they really when a postal worker from Florida can get on a gyrocopter and fly through the radar, fly through all the air defense systems, and land on the Capitol lawn? Think about this. Here we have supposedly a missile system that will act in defense of any oncoming or incoming missiles from any country in the world. We're supposed to have interceptor jets that can be in the air in just moments to protect us. And some guy gets on a gyrocopter and flies all the way up from the East Coast, lands on the Capitol lawn, and they finally catch him. I mean, this is really serious. You might snicker and say, yeah, he made it. He landed his... This is not funny at all. It's a very, very serious crime. And he claimed that he was sick and tired of our tax structure and our taxing system, and he wanted to deliver letters personally to the legislators in complaint. He could have, or quite frankly should have, been shot down long before he got to the Capitol. I think, and I think you're going to have to agree with me, and I want to hear your remarks, that this is indicative of this administration. This is indicative of how amateur they really are. This is indicative of what kind of a joke Obama's administration really is. This is indicative of how amateur they have gone into their offices and treated their business. And quite frankly, treated the United States. This is not a funny occurrence. This is not something to see on the news and snicker at 6 o'clock and say, well, look at that old postal worker. Boy, he sure put one over on them. This is not funny. And it should make everybody pause and think this morning just how unsafe we really are. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. I'd like to hear if you agree or disagree. Denny's Restaurant, 611 Overland in Burley. Don't forget the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch. And next week on Thursday is an extremely special lunch bunch because we're going to be honoring Russell Smith on his 90th birthday. Our hero, Russell Smith. Everybody try to be there. We're going to have a cake donated by Stokes Food Center. We're going to have gift drawings from Walmart, Smith's Food King, and Hanson Mortuary, and it's going to be something special right there at Denny's Restaurant, 611 Overland in Burley, the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch. You can stop in anytime, all the time, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Denny's. Oh, and by the way, you need equipment this weekend. It sounds like you can really get out and make a mess outside in the garden and everywhere else with the equipment that you need from Berry Equipment and Rental. Eli and the rest of the crew, they've got the equipment to get any job done right. All you have to do is stop in. They just got in a truckload of M-Series Bobcat excavators, skid steer loaders, and compact track loaders. 0% interest up to 60 months, and believe me, they can get the job done for you. Stop in and talk to them. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them what you need, and they can help at Berry Equipment and Rental. 3 locations, Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls with Eli, South Lincoln and Jerome, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley with Nick. They can help you with what you need to get the job done right. Calls are welcome. Come on. Don't shy away. Give me a call, 436-2244. 1-866-927-4587. There is a little town in Michigan called Milford, Michigan. And I don't know if you heard about this or not. And I was so incensed when I heard this story. A veterans group in Milford, Michigan wants to complete the Veterans Memorial in Milford Central Park. And what they want to have is a fallen soldier monument. But now, the City of Milford City Council said they're not so sure that they want that there in the Veterans Memorial Park, because the memorial that they want to put up is a fallen soldier, which features a pair of boots, a helmet atop an M16 rifle, and the city council, members of it, and the controlling vote of it are saying that that's inappropriate to have a rifle at this site. What do they think soldiers go to war with? A BB gun or a slingshot or a bow and arrow? Are we this backward in our thinking? Are we this absolutely stupid in the way that we're treating our fallen heroes and treating our military? Are we trying to censor what they're doing? They're putting their lives on the line. What do you want them to do? Just kind of take a little blowgun and shoot a pin out the end with a little piece of gum on it? Come on! Are we this doggone dumb in this country that we can't honor our fallen soldiers. You know, taking a gun away from a soldier and taking the traditional helmet, a pair of boots, and an M16 rifle to pay tribute in a Veterans Memorial Park and have some absolute gunsels that belong to the Milford City Council say, no, it just probably wouldn't look right. No, we're not trying to promote war. No, we're not trying to promote guns. What are your thoughts about this? It could happen here. It could happen anywhere. Absolutely stupid people that have power sitting on a city council saying yay or nay to something like this. One of the city council people said if it wasn't for the boots and the gun and the helmet, we wouldn't have all the freedoms that we have. And this practice of putting the gun in the ground and with the helmet and the boots is said to date back to the Civil War when it was used to identify bodies on the battleground. Well, all the vets around the Milford area are absolutely furious. And all the people that donated money for this memorial are absolutely furious. And everybody's thinking now in modern thought that we're going to war by throwing sticks and stones. Give me your calls, please. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what they need to do is take all these people on the city council, book them a flight over to Iraq, and let them live with the guys for about a month. And let's see what they say then.
You know, Jeff, I am so incensed over this because of the American people, not all of them, but a large percentage of them, that buy into this liberal ice cream that's absolutely frozen their brain. They can't think past their nose, and they're going, oh, well, I'm a liberal now, and I just think guns are bad, and we shouldn't have anybody see a gun, so no, we're going to take the gun away from our soldier and just have him standing there with a helmet and a pair of boots. Jeff, what in the world is the matter with reality? These people don't realize it, that we're under attack. People want to kill us, and we've got to start realizing this.
And that's the truth. But these people, you got to understand, a lot of them probably were raised in that period where there was no war. I mean, you know, when they were youth and stuff like that, everything was hunky-dory, and nothing's going on. And so they don't see the realization. They don't really know anybody that's served or lost or something like that because they've been separated from it.
I lost some of my dearest, closest buddies from high school and college over in Vietnam. I was not, killed man, able to go and serve my country. And I've always felt a little bit less because I couldn't because of my legs. And that's why on this program, I will devote any and all effort to support our military. But when I hear stupid people, and they are stupid people, that are so naive that they don't realize what's going on every single day to protect their lives and their freedom, I have no use for stupid people.
Oh, I agree. But I want to blame the mainstream media on this, too. When Vietnam was going on, when all these other wars were going on, there wasn't a news come out every day about that war. And so we were all involved in it. Didn't matter which one it was, but we saw pictures, we heard stories about it all the time. And now we're getting a one-sided story about what's going on.
Absolutely.
The whole picture like we used to.
I'll tell you what, you're going to hear the whole picture on this program. I don't care if it's in Michigan, Louisiana, Florida, California, or right here in Idaho. I think that these stupid people had better realize who really put their necks on the chopping block for their freedoms, enabling them to go to the soccer games, enabling them to take their kids to the shoe store, enabling them to go out to eat on Friday night. I have had it with stupid people.
Well, that's the thing is, of anybody to go after, the veterans are the last ones. They're the ones that everybody is cutting their wages, cutting their benefits, cutting the armed forces down, period. And we're treating them like this?
Yeah.
No.
Amen.
It sounds a lot like Vietnam.
Amen. Kilt man, God bless you. I appreciate it. I got another call waiting, and I got to do some commercials. Thank you very much.
Right.
Caller, I'll be right there. Stand by. Penetron Soil Conditioner by Maisie, with a 21-year proven record of increasing yield and quality of all Idaho crops. Oh, yeah. Speeding germination, reducing crusting, improving stand, stimulating root growth and microbial activity, and build soil structure, too. And you know what else? Penetron by Maisie saves water, saves the use of irrigation water, and that also saves you money. Don't forget, Penetron-treated crops have better roots that reduce stress for water and nutrients, and you can increase your crop's performance with the proven soil conditioner, Penetron by Maisie. Get the original, not the cheap imitations. Contact your crop advisor today for Penetron, and also call Dr. Adrian Arp at 734-2255 for additional information. Real quick, Scott, I tell you what, this guy is so good. Gano Landscaping and Sprinkler Service, they are thorough. They can prune your trees properly, pop my peas, there you go. And they also know how to take out all the big stumps, and they really are great at putting in new sprinkler systems or fixing your old ones. Call Scott Gano today. I mean, this guy is good. 438-2485. Gano Landscaping and Sprinkler Service, you call them today. Caller, I'm sorry. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. You know, thank you to a young man. In Rupert, we've got a monument in Rupert that is similar to this.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, it is very touching when you go by it and see it. The only thing I can see wrong with this monument right now is that the flag is at full stand, and it should be at half-mast because it honors our POWs and our MIAs.
It will be, Jerry. Jerry, let me correct you on something. It will be at half-staff permanently.
I know that.
Okay, but
it isn't right now.
I just want to reiterate that thanks to Senator Dean Cameron and others, that George Mass, Donna Mass, and others really put forth a lot of effort to get that memorial where it should be and how it should be. And I appreciate your comment here this morning.
And you know, that's probably one of the most touching, if not the most touching monument in this country.
I agree.
I've never been to another one that is well planned out and that is as nice as that one is.
I agree.
And you know, I thank the Lord I've been able to see that. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to see.
All right, Jerry. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Have a wonderful day, and may the Lord bless.
He already has. Thank you. You know, I am not ever going to apologize for saying what I said just a few moments ago. No way. I know that the liberal left in this audience, they will call me after the program on my cell phone. Oh, by the way, I'll readily give out the number, 312-2976. And they'll criticize me for using the terminology stupid people. No. I will never apologize for that. We have too many stupid and naive people in this country that don't appreciate the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the lives that has enabled them to have and enjoy their lives. And anybody that would pick apart a monument for our soldiers and say, oh, well, no, we don't want the guns to say, we don't want the kids to see the guns. No, not in this society. They are and will be stupid people. I'll talk more about this right after we have our break at the bottom of the hour. I want to remind you, Mount Harrison Audiology, and with the Doctor of Audiology, Christine Pickup. They're located right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room, and the number to call for a hearing screening to have your hearing checked, 312-0957. Absolutely very important. I was over there a couple of days ago, like I've said, and I was so really into it with what these tests showed, and my hearing on the one side, my left ear, is really starting to diminish, and I got to do something about it, and she has the answer. So please call her today. I urge people to have their hearing checked at Mount Harrison Audiology, and that's with Christine Pickup, Doctor of Audiology, 312-0957. Here now, the Capital Press Ag Minute.
Today's Ag Minute brought to you by the Capital Press, the West Ag Weekly. Consumer interest in the organic label continues to grow. The organic industry says U.S. sales of their products jumped 11% last year alone to more than $39 billion, despite tight domestic supplies of organic ingredients. And the number of U.S. organic operations has grown by 250% since the government started certifying organic products in 2002, according to new Agriculture Department data released Wednesday. Industry data shows organics now makes up 5% of total food sales in the United States. But much of the growth is also in non-food items, like textiles and personal care items. The Organic Trade Association says those non-food sales jumped almost 14% last year and totaled more than $3 billion. For more agriculture news and information, turn to the West Ag Weekly, the Capital Press, and capitalpress.com.
Thank you very much, and brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology. Call for a hearing screening today, 312-0957. Also want to remind you that we're very honored on Tuesdays to have Dr. History segment brought to you by Minnecasia Sales, 1321 East Main in Burley, right across from the airport. And Zach and Joanne and all their crew, they've got everything for your spring remodeling, your lumber packages, shingles. They've got all your windows, everything, along with great quality carpet buys, too. And the Tartar Farm and Ranch home equipment, too, the waterers and everything else. You just check it out at Minnecasia Sales, 1321 East Main in Burley, bringing you Dr. History. There was a quote by one of the veterans on this veterans group that wanted to build this memorial, and his name is Ron Navorsky of Milford. Now, I am going to try to get a hold of Mr. Navorsky and do that on Monday and try to get him on this program. He served with the Marines during the Korean War. And talking about the Fallen Soldier Memorial, he said, is very important to him. He said, quote, if people are worried... Now, folks, listen to this quote. It's really poignant. Listen to what this man, Ron Navorsky, said. If people are worried about their kids seeing a gun, take away their video games and take away their TVs. Don't let them hunt, and don't teach them to protect themselves. These guys, these fallen heroes, have given everything for our freedom. Amen. Amen. God bless him. Isn't it absolutely ridiculous by stupid people that they will allow their children to watch the filth that's on primetime television? They will allow their children to sit there, they'd sit there 24/7 if you gave them a chance, and play these asinine, brain-twisted video games. They'll let them do this and be a part of that. And for a memorial for our soldiers that keep us free so that little Johnny and Susie can be a part of the stupid people, they won't allow a gun in a soldier's hand at a memorial? Oh, please. You out there in the audience should be outraged, like I am. You should be. Because it can happen here. Yes, it can. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I can't abide, nor will I, with what's going on in this country today. Caller, I'll be right there. I got to quickly tell everybody, Minnecasia Annual Community Auction, put on by Bill Estes and Associates Auctioneers. Bill is one nice man. I really have enjoyed his friendship over the years, and this big sale is going to be at the Carnival Grounds at the Cassia County Fairgrounds Saturday, April 18th. This weekend, there'll be lunch on the grounds, sale time 9 a.m. in the morning. They're going to have motorcycles, snow machines, boats, autos, ATVs, trucks, and trailers. They're going to have tools and miscellaneous items. systems, livestock handling equipment. Holy cow, this is a great sale. A great big Mini-Cash annual community auction put on by Bill Estes and Associates, and the number to call for more information, 654-2546. Bill Estes and Associates Auctioneers, big sale coming up this Saturday on the 18th at 9 a.m., Cassia County Fairgrounds. Caller, good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. Yeah, we reached the point where good's called evil and evil's good, and the politically correct police out there. But I guess you probably heard when you were talking about TV and so forth, Walt Disney Company, along part of ABC, is going to have some new series where they'll be bullying Christians.
Yeah.
Have you read about that? It's just unbelievable.
I had a complete segment on my program about it, and it's going to be in tribute to one of the sleaziest, one of the worst personalities in the United States, a person that absolutely hates religion, a person that absolutely hates any of the moral family values that we hold dear in this country, and I'm doing my best from my aspect to try to run that program down and contact the Disney Corporation and tell them that, boy, we wish Walt would come back from the grave, because the people that are running the Disney Corporation right now are a bunch of absolute stupid people.
Well, it's just, and I think Disney World has a Gay Pride Day or something like that now. And, it's unbelievable that, that kind of stuff. But, I don't know anybody that watches evening sitcoms anymore, because you can't, I can't stomach that kind of stuff. And it's just unbelievable, the degradation of our society, but the attack on Christians is unbelievable, and it comes right from the White House. Valerie Jarrett, they're Muslims, and they just keep pushing their agenda, and it's anti-Christian, and it's going right down through the institutions, and the military is being, politically correct. The Christians in the military are leaving by the droves because they're being pushed out.
I agree with you, Adrian, and on this program, I don't care if we step on someone's toes. Maybe they need stepped on.
I just wish more people, I just talked to a friend the other day, and he says, well, I just don't like to get involved in politics. And I says, well, we're going to lose in our country because there's just not enough of us that are involved.
I agree. Thank you for your call as always. I appreciate it. Thank you, Adrian.
Yeah, have a great day.
God bless. Thank you. He's right. People sit there and they go, we used to go to a church like that. We did. We used to go to a church like that, where people would sit back and say, oh, not me. Oh, no, I can't get involved. Why? Why be cowards? Why sit there and let the world spin out of control around you, and yet, I can't get involved. I can't say something. Why, I might hurt someone's feelings. Oh, gee. Oh, golly. That's the whole problem with the world today. People do not want to get involved. They don't want to stand up for what is right. They don't want to stand up for the law. They don't want to stand up for moral values. They don't want to stand up because, no, they can't get involved. Why, their neighbor down the road might not like that. To heck with the neighbor. Good morning, you're on the air.
Yeah, Zeb, you talk about guns. When I was a kid, my dad run cattle up here on the Becklow Hills. My job was to ride for him, and he would never send me up there without a gun. I had a gun with me all the time. At the time I was about 10 years old. And sometimes I had a handgun, pistol.
Yep.
But most of the time I had a 30-30 rifle in the scabbard under my leggings. He just never would have sent me up there the guns.
No, Fred, let me ask you a question here real quick. You have been a service member in the United States Navy. You have served our country, as many, many others in this area have. But for some group of stupid people to say that they need to neuter a memorial by taking the gun away from a soldier, my goodness, what are they going to stick in his hand? A doggone slingshot?
Stupidity. I can't understand. Why the memorial?
Yes.
Why the memorial?
I am incensed about this.
That gun is the big part of the memorial.
Yeah.
It's nothing without the gun.
Absolutely. You're looking at a
handicap.
That's exactly a good word. We have handicapped our society because of stupid people. Thank you, Fred. God bless you, my friend. I appreciate it.
You bet, buddy.
That was a good way to put it. Yes, we have handicapped our society because of stupid liberalism. Gee, my wife and I were driving by the other day with our little children, 13 and 11, and we noticed that memorial has a gun. Oh, you got to take the gun out of that soldier's hand because we don't want our children to be exposed to that. Then they go home, the kids turn on the TV, they watch the sleaze with the gay, lesbian, and transgenders, all the shooting at point-blank range, they play their stupid, silly little video games, and these parents are upset about a war memorial. What is the matter with you people? Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Jeb. You know, the enemies of America are totally involved. That's a lot more than we're doing over here. You know, ISIS is right across the southern border. How many people know about that?
Yeah. I mean, Tony, you know, something that I want you to comment on real quick, and then I got to do a break. You know, here we are. We think we're safe. We think that our defenses are up to par or even over par, and yet some little jerk gets on a gyrocopter and lands on the Capitol lawn, and nobody knew about it. Isn't that insane?
That's not insane. You know, this is just a precursor of what's going to happen with all these little airplanes floating around here now. These, what do you call them?
The drones.
The drones, yeah. You know, what's going to stop somebody from sending about half a dozen drones to the White House with C4 explosives on them?
I know, and the minute you say that, they go, oh, you can't talk like that. Well, you know what? Let's wake up and smell the coffee, for heaven's sakes. It could happen.
It could very well happen, and I see it happening with this jackass we've got up there in the White House.
Tony, God bless you.
According to the dictionary, a jackass is a beast of burden or a very stupid individual.
Well, you know, then also, let's not be just limiting it to one person. Let's also incorporate the name Harry Reid into the same category.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, he's 100% against any of the candidates for the Republican Party.
Yeah, he came out and decided that he would term all of those gentlemen losers and support somebody like Hillary Clinton. Are you kidding me? Tony, I got to run.
Good,
I got
Hillary Clinton and, what's her name there? That gal that on the talk show. Well, whatever she is, Ruby, Goldberg.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I forget. Whoopi Goldberg. Yes.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, Whoopi. Good old Whoopi.
I could just see her, Hillary Clinton, if she gets in, being on a daily talk show with Goldberg.
Oh, boy, that would be a pair to draw to. Got to run. Tony, thank you so much. Appreciate it. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Hey, don't forget Streamline Precision. You better give them a call. Tim and the rest of the crew at 431-7314. Streamline Precision, 120 South, 100 West of Burley, right next to Dot Foods. Call for estimates on things, items, buildings that you need built. They're really putting up a lot of grain bins for on-the-farm storage. They're an authorized authorized dealer with Sukup, Chief, Balin, and Nucor Buildings. And don't forget, too, that Streamline Precision really is a family of companies providing construction, excavation, and fabrication services. They are good. And by the way, you need dirt hauled? Hey, they've got the big equipment to handle your dirt hauling with big side dump trucks. And they also have the heavy rigs for hauling your big farm equipment from one area to another. Call them today. 431-7314. Call Tim. Tell him I told you to call Streamline Precision, 120 South, 100 West of Burley. The professionals serving you. Right now, it's time for the weather, and the weather's brought to you by Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox. Qualified Lennox home comfort systems. Whether it's a gas furnace, air conditioner, or a heat pump, you and your family will enjoy the comfort. Here now is Michael Rogers' weather.
Hello, everyone. Michael Rogers for Zeb at the Ranch. The good news is we're done with the rain. The good news also is the temperatures start to warm up. The good news after that is the winds are going to start to die down. So, as you work your way towards the weekend, your daytime high today will be 61. By the time you get to Sunday, your daytime high will be 72. That's how cold fronts work. Sorry, they've been doing it for years. And basically, there are only so many ways that you can describe it. Warm on one side, cold on the other side. But by the same token, you're done with the rain. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
Thank you, Michael. Don't forget, call 678-0459 and learn how Ramsey Heating and Electric and Lennox can save you money. Ramsey Heating and Electric, warm winters and cool summers. Stupid people. I'll give you another example of, we're going to start a new category on this program every day, stupid people. In California, people that can't think past their nose. They're all upset, not all the folks, but many of the folks are upset because there's a shortage of water. And they may have to suffer a little bit in not being able to water their yards or wash their car. They've had a drought down there in California. But these stupid people that are complaining are pointing the fingers at agriculture. And they're saying, well, if I can't water my lawn or wash my car, then don't you let them water their crops either. Stupid people. You know what? These people are the first ones that will riot, pillage, and plunder if they can't get food for themselves and their family. But yet they're the ones that are trying to stop the growth and production of food in America? Stupid people. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jeb. I've been listening to it, and you know what? I'd like to take some of these stupid people everywhere they're doing it, and then you can start criticizing the American veterans and all that stuff, the people that has protected us since the Civil War. They keep downgrading them and everything else, take everything away from them. I'm getting damn sick and tired of these, council members and all that stuff that don't know a hill of beans about squat. They should be taken out in the public, like the old headstocks, back in the old days. Sit out there in the park with your head sticking through a hole with your arms, and then put the flogger to them.
You know, everybody in this country in a free society has a right to their stupid opinion. But when our military, our men and women are on the front lines every day, 24/7, 365 days, and they are the ones that are the target, not only for ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Boko Haram and all these other countries that want to do harm to our American soldiers, yet we have some stupid people here that don't want a memorial built with the service cross of the helmets, the boots, and the rifle. What is the matter with us?
I don't know. We've used that symbol of the rifle in the ground with the boots and the helmet since way back in the Spanish-American War to mark our graves where our soldiers have fallen. What in the hell's wrong with these people that can sit there and let rape go on in a Florida beach?
Yep.
And these so-called party goers.
Well, but the main thing is that they're saying, we can't have our children see that gun, and then they'll let the kids go home and play these asinine, brain-dead video games and watch what's on primetime TV.
I know it. Our alley cats have better moral standards than what these people are doing.
Don't be running down the cats.
No, I ain't.
All right, see you later. Thank you. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, denigrating our farmers. People don't realize that right now we're on the verge of being held hostage by food coming in from foreign countries. So
that's right.
You know, and this is a dangerous thing to do, is to denigrate our farmers.
You got it right, and that's why my audience, I honestly mean this, is a very, very astute and very knowledgeable audience as to what's going on. But you look at the encroachment of stupid people in this world that want to stop agriculture. Oh, they use water to grow crops. We better stop them. And then they go to the grocery store and they go, what happened to all the food? Well, duh, stupid people.
The American people haven't been hurt yet. They haven't been hurt enough. Let them go through another depression. I remember that thing just vividly as it happened yesterday.
All right, Tony.
And it will hurt.
It will be devastating. Thank you for your call back. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Don't forget a big truckload sale going on at Redder's Showcase. Oh, my, 2611 Overland and Burley with Guy Redder and the crew. I've been telling you about the great buys that they've got, like the Maytag high-efficiency top-load washer and dryer sets. Oh, my, just $5.99 for each one. Yes, you check it out today. Great low prices truckload sale. Plus, of course, they'll take, I think, $100 for trade-ins. So you better call or stop in today. Redder's Showcase, the Superstore at 2611 Overland and Burley. Don't forget, great big truckload sale. You can save a lot of money at Redder's Showcase. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You take the San Joaquin Valley in California, and I know the area extremely well. I've done rodeos all up and down the part of Central California. And I know the people. I've got a lot of friends all along the San Joaquin Valley. I have many, many friends that are involved in big farming operations, cattle operations, etc. And you dry that up, and we're in a lot of trouble. And for these people, we got to use that terminology again, stupid people that think, well, we don't have to grow food here. We can bring it in from Argentina. We can bring it in from Brazil. We can bring it in from here, there, everywhere. People think, number one, we don't know about the quality. Number two, the greatest way to hold America hostage, it isn't oil, it's food. You cut off the food supply, and you have those people that can't get food under complete control. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Zeb.
Turn your radio off or way down. You're getting feedback. Go ahead.
Yeah, I went in another room.
All right.
I talk about stupid people. I come back from Salt Lake a couple of days, 3 or 4 days ago. I have never seen so much trash along the freeway as there is between here and Salt Lake. In the last, I made a trip to Boise too, and it's that way. Plastic hanging on fences, blowing, and along the highway, off the road, there's trash. It didn't used to be like that, and it's getting more so.
I noticed yesterday we had to go to Burley, and then I had to run over to Rupert. I had to see some of my accounts, and I commented to my wife. I said, what in the world happened? Did a garbage truck tip over, and all the contents got blown in the wind? What is going on with all this garbage all over the roadways, the ditch banks, up against fences? It looked terrible.
It looks like they have no conscience at all. I mean, even right in front of my house, I've had people drive by and throw their Pepsi. They drink all the Pepsi or whatever it is, and then they chuck it out the window with ice and everything. And then the straw and the cap for the cup, and I go out and pick it up.
I do too, but I'm waiting for the day, Dwayne, and I got to hurry along because I've got to do a commercial and go to the news. But I'm waiting for the day that I will be outside and I can watch some of the stupid people throw their garbage on my lawn, and then I will get their license number. I will find out where they live, and then I have a special treat for them. I am going to bag up all kinds of the feces material that's out in my feedlot, and I'm going to take it over and put it on their front porch so they can share in the value.
Well, that won't cure them. You know what cures people? Money. That's what they don't like to lose. And I think it's, what is a $500 fine?
Well, I'm going to get them. I'm sick of picking up their trash. I got to run, Dwayne. I'm running late.
I did get one person, and the girl, she says, well, I didn't throw it out there.
Yeah.
I said, your friend did, and I says, I'll get the license number, and I'll turn you in. You want your friend to pay $500? She went out and picked it up.
There you go. Got to run. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Don't forget spring tire sale going on at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Oh, I'm telling you, for your cars, your pickups, your SUVs, they've got the tires you need, and they're on sale. Get them now, with the best tire value promise in the industry. Peace of mind tire protection, lifetime tire and mileage care, convenient tires, convenient credit for tires and services, and, of course, don't forget the very best in brake service. I mean the very best in brake service. Front-end alignment, shocks and struts, and batteries, and they've got a lot of the custom wheels on sale for this spring tire sale. You stop in and see my friends, and they are Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, John on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. I'm going to run to the news. I'm going to calm down, get my blood pressure under control, and you stay tuned for the next hour. Zeb at the Ranch. I'll be back in 6. Good morning and welcome back. Zeb at the Ranch, and nice to have you aboard. Look at the blue sky. Oh, a beautiful day outside. I'm Zeb Bell. Zeb at the Ranch with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, and of course some of our great advertisers, which include Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley with Lennox, and of course don't forget to Valley White Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida and Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch. We're going to have our report from the Chamber of Commerce in just a few minutes, but before we do, I want to say, and this gentleman's going to be on the air with us a little bit later on this morning, Joel Heward with Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert, a family place, and they're dedicated to serving families. And don't forget, too, they can travel to rural towns and churches to help you with the arrangements when there's a passing of a loved one with very, very flexible hours, always upholding the highest ethical standards with unquestioned integrity. Please, when there's the passing of a loved one, don't forget the folks that really can help you, and they will, at Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. Number to call, 436-5636. And every morning when we start the program, we always go right to the weather forecast with Michael Rogers Weather, brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 678-6945. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays from 10 to 4. All your carpet and flooring and kitchen construction, home decor items, whatever you need to make your house a home. Cheney Flooring and Home Design. Look for the blue door. Really nice people. Real quick, I know somebody that's celebrating a 20-year anniversary, and they are saying thank you, Magic Valley, thank you to all their customers, and keep on coming in because they've got a friendly staff, dedicated staff, serving you the best of food. Who is it? It's Steve-O's. Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn, celebrating a 20-year anniversary for your favorite place to go have lunch or dinner. You stop in and see them today. Steve-O's at 290 South, 600 West of Heyburn. Happy anniversary. Right now, a lovely lady, the director of the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce, and we're very fortunate to have her on the program. Kay Cameron, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day. I look forward to not as much wind as we've had the last couple of days. And it's going to be a great day.
Okay, now you are very busy. I kid you sometimes about looking out the window and watching the duckies swim down the river, but I doubt seriously if you have a lot of time for that. So what's cooking over there today?
That is true. Well, it's a very busy day as always here, but today is our Chamber Leadership Day. They're off to learn about all the different opportunities in education here in the Mini-Cassia community, so it's fun to see them off. We're busy tying up the last-minute ends for our women's seminar, which is coming up 1 week from today. So anybody who is interested in participating and spending the day with us, get over here, get registered, and sign up to participate. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Kay, I had a call day before yesterday, and a lady that's new to this area, she wanted to have a little bit more information about what they're actually going to do and see at the women's seminar, and I thought this might be a good time for you to kind of expand on that a little bit.
Well, perfect. Our doors will open at 9:30, like I said, a week from today, so it's the 23rd of April, and we'll start with just some registration, and then starting at 10 o'clock, we're going to have a cooking demonstration with Diane Bevan, and we'll be learning about breakfast and snack ideas. At 11:15, Alice Shank is going to give us a presentation. She's always so inspiring and motivational, and she's going to be talking about achieving impossible dreams and learning to live on the edge. And I believe right now Alice is either on her way or in Boston. She's running the Boston Marathon this weekend.
Oh, my.
So she's always thrilling to listen to, and she has so many great adventures, and she's so inspiring. So we look forward to that.
Well, now, once again, that's going to be a week from today, and tell everybody how they can get in the door. What do they have to do?
Yes, come by and see us. We have the tickets here. They're $20, and just stop by anytime, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Lunch is going to be served as well, so that includes lunch as well as other great speakers and other cooking demonstrations, and over 51 vendors. Come by and see what other people have got going on and learn about great products. So just come by and register. Give us a call at 208-679-4793 and do it over the phone, or come by and see us.
All right. Now, I got to tell you, too, that I had another caller. It was about Monday in the afternoon. They called my cell phone and they said, you know what? We've lived in this area for over 20 years, and we didn't know that the Chamber of Commerce had such a nice gift department. They really enjoyed it.
Well, that's good. We get people in all the time that say the same thing, or they say, gosh, how long have you guys been here? Are you guys brand new? And no, our office has been here for about 15 or 16, 17 years now.
Yeah.
But, come by and see us. We do have a nice little gift shop. Pick up a ticket for the women's seminar while you're here and learn about all the great things going on in the community.
Anything else going on that you want to highlight this morning before I let you go?
You know, I haven't even pulled up the community calendar because I was talking about the women's seminar today, but if people want to know about things going on within the community, look at our website, which is minicassiachamber.com, and there's a calendar there and lots of information there. Also, if you have a community event you want to share and include on our community calendar, you can post it there. So there's a button that says add your event, and you just click on that and add your information, and then we approve that and add that on so we can share that information with the community.
Now, let me ask you, and I probably shouldn't ask you on the air, but I know you're going to be busy from now on. What about next Thursday? Are we going to be calling you over at the women's event, or are you going to be in your office?
Oh no, I'll be over there. So I'll be calling. I'll be doing what do they call it in the radio world, a remote live broadcast.
Oh, I'll be looking with all the background noise and the people coming up and saying, "Hi, Kay, how are you?"
Yep. So I will be calling live from over there. So your helper over there probably should get in touch with me to get my cell phone number in case he doesn't hear from me. He can give me a call.
All right, and we'll get that taken care of. But listen, there are numerous ways to find out more about the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. And what are they, please?
Well, come by and see us. Like I said, if you're interested in getting tickets, we're located at 1177 7th Street in Hayburn. It's just right on the Snake River. Or give us a call at 208-679-4793. Find us online at minicasualchamber.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Well, you've got that down to a science. Really good, Kay Cameron. Enjoy the week. Thank you so much for being on the program. We appreciate it.
You bet. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce and Kay Cameron. She is a very, very nice lady. You know what? Days like this, and then looking ahead to the weekend like we're predicted to have, I cannot wait to get on the four-wheeler and get lost. Oh, my. You don't have a four-wheeler? Oh, well, why not? You've been thinking about getting one? Well, you better stop over to Let's Ride. Highway 24, 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and Hayburn, and talk to Nick and the entire crew. They can help you. I mean, open the showroom door and look inside and go, holy buckets, where did they get all these ATVs? How'd they get them in here? Well, let me tell you what, they have got excellent selections for you to enjoy with you, your family, your wife. Get up in the hills and just enjoy Southern Idaho. Stop over today to Let's Ride, Highway 24 between Rupert and Hayburn, or give them a call, 436-4771, where the fun is sold. Let's Ride. You stop over and see them today. Oh, and by the way, if you're going to be over in that neck of the woods, I suggest you call ahead, make an appointment at Cameron and Siemens Insurance at Highway 24 in Rupert. And the number to call for an appointment about life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, very important items for you, your family, and protection for your business. You better get a hold of them today. 436-4424. 436-4424. Dean Cameron, Todd Siemens, the best, the professionals serving you at Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. And really nice people, too. Let's see, what else have I got cooking? I have got, thanks to my lovely wife, I've got a list, and I hope we didn't forget anybody, of some of the birthdays that are going to be happening over the weekend when we're not on the air. Now, tomorrow on Friday, happy birthday to you, Frida Flowers is going to have a birthday on Friday. Happy birthday, Frida. And then on Saturday, happy birthday to him, Rotten. Dal Bradley is up. Now, for those that don't know Rotten, that is his own self-imposed nickname. Dal Bradley's going to have a birthday on Saturday. And then next Monday, I hope I don't forget, very dear friend Jerry Voss is going to have a birthday. So there you go, some of the birthdays that are coming up for these kids that are probably still in their 30s. That drew a smile. Once again, I want to remind you that I had a call about a week and a half ago from Dan Tracy up at Elmo, and I believe he's kind of heading up the Elmo Boy Scouts, and he said, Zeb, they're going to have a great big turkey shoot on April 25th, Saturday, April 25th, from 10 to 2 p.m., located right by the cemetery in Elba. For some reason that struck me funny. But anyway, they're going to have all kinds of different things. Sportsman's Warehouse has helped them get a shotgun as one of the prizes, and they're going to have custom-made knives by Glenn Cowling, and all kinds of things to win, along with food for purchase and silent auctions, too. That's the Elmo Boy Scouts having a turkey shoot April 25th, Saturday, 10 to 2 p.m. By the cemetery up in Elba. Don't you forget that. Let's see what else. Streamline Professional. I got to tell you about these folks. I really think that they are phenomenal. What they do and how they get it done is really something. Streamline Precision is a family of companies providing construction, excavation, and fabrication services. Now, you're saying to yourself, well, we've been thinking about maybe putting some on-the-farm storage with the grain bins or building a brand-new building. Well, let me tell you, they are an authorized dealer for Sukup, Chief, Balin, and Nucor buildings, and right now they're building the brand-new Funk Dairy over here south of Murtaugh. And they've got the big rigs, too, to help you with your dirt hauling. As a matter of fact, they got a lot of those big side dump trucks. They can help you with that. And then also they've got the big rigs for carrying your big heavy equipment, your farm equipment from like one farm to another field to farm, etc. So there you go. They are a family of companies that can help you. Streamline Precision. You call Tim Vaughn today, 431-7314. Say it too fast, I'll say it again. 431-7314. Streamline Precision, the professionals that are serving you. Really good folks. All right, in just a few minutes, we're going to have our dog report with Officer Ken Mort for today, but I've got something else I want to remind you of right now. That next week on Thursday, I am very, very honored to organize a birthday party along with my lovely bride, Deanne, for a very special individual, and that is Mr. Russell Smith. He is going to turn 90 years of age. And, of course, you know the story about Russell. Lives in Burley, 3 times Purple Heart recipient for our United States military, and he's my hero. And we're going to have a special cake that's being donated by Stokes Food Center. We're going to have, as usual, with our Zeb's Lunch Bunch, door prizes from Walmart, Smith's Food King, and Handsome Mortuary. But come on over. Come on over to Denny's Restaurant next Thursday. We'll start around 11:30. We've got some surprises for Russell Smith, and I'm not going to elaborate on the surprises right now, naturally, but don't miss it at 11:30 next week on Thursday at Denny's Restaurant, and I'm just getting all choked up thinking about it. It's going to be a wonderful occasion. Come on by, so don't forget that. Let's see, I had another note that I was supposed to... Oh, one other thing I want to mention real quick before we go to Ken Mort is, and think about this, audience. Yesterday, I was in a parking lot waiting for my lovely bride to come out of the business, and I witnessed not one, but 2 very near misses of little children almost getting hit by autos that were going way too fast in shopping parking lots. Way too fast. Now, one of the instances, the little child was holding her mom's hand. They walk up to the car. The mom was pushing the cart with the other hand, and she opened up the back of the car and was putting the groceries in, and the little toddler started to walk out in the middle of the traffic, and mom turned around quick and went to grab her, and a car coming way too fast. It was close. Way too close. And another instance, and this one drove me completely nuts, sitting there and watching a car go by the front of the store, going way too fast and almost hitting a lady on a walker. What is the matter with you people thinking that the parking lots are a NASCAR course? Slow down. Be careful. All right, let's see. Oh, Redder's Showcase. Did you hear what they're doing over at Redder's? Well, if you didn't, I'm about ready to tell you about it. Guy Redder and the crew, my goodness, I know they're listening this morning. They're saying, Zebber, send them in. Truckload sale going on. Oh, my goodness, washer and dryer sets. You can't believe the low prices that they've got. They've got the front load sets, the high-efficiency top load sets, the agitator sets. Oh, I'd be a part of the agitator set. And I'll tell you what, 12 months, same as cash at Redder's Showcase, the Superstore. 2611 Overland Avenue in Burley. Guy Redder and the crew. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 5. Stop in and save money. I mean, really save money. Truckload sale going on at Redder's Showcase. Don't you miss it. Oh, my. Where in the world did all these dogs come from anyway? Holy cow. We got a dog over there. We got 2 dogs. Get that poodle off the chair. I don't allow dogs on the furniture. Anyway, right now it's time for Minidoka Animal Control. Dogs, and maybe a horse or 2 also. Here's Officer Ken Mort. How you doing this morning?
Not too bad, Zeb.
I'm having a little trouble hearing you. Have old wheels turn you up just a little bit, would you please?
Is that better?
Oh, much. Thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
Well, we're busy. We're fighting the stupid people of the world. I'm sure you probably see that in your business, too.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. So what's going on?
I don't think you can go anywhere without having that issue.
You know, it's really something. There was an advertisement I saw on television the other day, and I'm not going to give credence to any association or anything like that right now, but they showed some of these dogs and kitty cats up close, you know, with their big brown eyes, looking at the camera and everything, and you talk about melt my heart. That ad is pretty effective, Ken.
Oh, yeah, they can get you there every time.
Absolutely. Now, you can, too, when you talk about how people just don't think and how they have a lack of feeling and compassion for animals. What's going on in your world?
Well, today we want to feature Hussy. Annette, she was an owner surrendered. Annette, she's a 2-year-old German Shepherd. She loves kids, gets along good with other dogs unless they're aggressive towards her, Annette, and then she's afraid of them. She is leash trained and knows a lot of basic commands. Very loving dog. It takes when you first meet her and stuff and that, you got to be kind of slow with her at first until she gets to know you. It don't take her long to get to know you, and then she's in your back pocket and that just loving on you like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, no, wait a minute. What kind of a dog is it?
She is a German Shepherd.
Oh, I have a passion for German Shepherds.
I mean, she is a beautiful, beautiful dog.
Oh man! You said that she knows. You said that she knows different commands, right?
Yeah, she knows a lot of basic commands like your sit, your stay, and that roll over. I mean, she does know Annette some of the basic commands that people Annette like to teach their dogs.
Well, I tell you what, my dogs, I got to brag a little bit. They know some basic commands like eat and bark.
I think they all know those.
I know. My dogs are not the best trained dogs in the world, let me tell you.
Well, look who's training them.
Boy, Ken, it's too bad this is going to be the last time you're going to be on this program. Thanks for the memories. So you've got a German Shepherd by the name of Hussy.
Yes, I mean, and if somebody was to adopt her, I'm sure they could change her name if they wanted to. But I mean, she knows her name Hussy, and
okay.
She's a real sweetheart, like I said. And if anybody's interested in her, they can contact us at the shelter at 438-2200, or can contact me on my cell phone at 670-7268.
Now, Ken, do you have a little story on her? I mean, my goodness, a beautiful German Shepherd dog. What happened that somebody just didn't want her anymore?
I didn't get her. She was actually surrendered to the Hebron Animal Control Officer, and unfortunately, I wasn't around when they were doing all the discussion. I just got what was put on the intake sheet. But from what I'd gathered and stuff and that, they got into a little bit of some financial problems and stuff and that, and were unable to afford to take care of her and that. So they wanted her to be able to find some place and that would be able to better take care of her.
Oh.
And that, so they made contact with us because we actually have been doing a great job of finding homes or getting rescues and stuff and that to find homes for our furry friends that we bring in. I mean, like I pointed out before, last year we took in 635 dogs. We only had to euthanize 4 of those dogs.
Oh, my.
Injury, illness, or one that was vicious.
Oh, now really, folks, think about what he just said. That is an amazing success record, and I think all people should give you a round of applause for what you've done over there, because that is excellent. Thank you, Ken. We appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll really be excited if we can get a year where we have a 0 euthanasia in that year.
Yeah.
But so far we're doing pretty good.
So Hussy, the German Shepherd, she was not maltreated or anything, and she's really in good shape and ready to find a home of somebody that really wants to love her.
Yes, she is. And right now, Annette, one of my part-time employees is actually going to foster her, Annette, until we can find her a home, because with the barking that's inside the facility and everything, which will only last, Annette, till this weekend's over, because we've got several that are leaving again this weekend. But she's afraid of, like I say, the aggressiveness of other dogs and the loud barking of other dogs.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, if anybody's interested in her, Annette, they just need to let me know. We can get her brought in, Annette, or get someplace that you can meet her and be able to get her home.
Okay. Now, give us the numbers again. This sounds like a wonderful dog for a family, and I think the world of German Shepherds. So give us the numbers again.
Okay, it's 438-2200 or 670-7268.
All right. Officer...
Also, Annette, just to let you know, I mean, when I say she loves kids, Annette, they are her best friends. So if you've got kids, that would even be, Annette, a major plus with her.
You know, and I'll say this, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, Ken. I mean, we too good of friends. If I say the misnomer here, you can tell me. German Shepherd with kids out in the backyard or anywhere that loves those kids, woe betide the person that tries to touch those kids.
Exactly. They are very protective of their family. I mean, it's most dogs and stuff in that are when they get attached to a family, real strong and heavily. And that if somebody tries to mess with the kids, watch out. You
better believe it. And that is a babysitter that you can't pay enough for. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right. Officer Ken Mort, my buddy, at least he was until he gave me the raspberries here a couple of minutes ago, at, of course, Minidoka Animal Control. God bless you, Ken. Appreciate it.
God bless you, too, Zeb.
All right. Where'd all these dogs come from anyway? Yeah. Officer Ken Mort, a dear friend with Minidoka Animal Control. Call him on that great German Shepherd they call Hussy. I think you'll really appreciate that. A few moments ago, we were talking to Kay Cameron with the Chamber of Commerce, talking about the one-by-one women's seminar sponsored by the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce next week, a week from today, Thursday, April 23rd, from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon at the Best Western Burley Inn and Convention Center. Oh, they're going to have a lot of fun. Tickets are on sale, $20, and they can be purchased right there at the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce at 1177 7th Street in Heyburn, or call 679-4793. And, you know, by the way, I believe that next week on the 22nd is Secretary's Day and Professionals Administrative Day. So there you go, bosses and husbands. Buy your wife a ticket for this women's seminar. Lots of great things are scheduled. Don't miss it next Thursday on the 23rd. Oh, good heavens, I am really excited right now because I get a chance to talk to a very, very nice lady and a very knowledgeable lady. Good morning, Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm real good.
How's the cold?
Oh, getting better.
My goodness, you still sound like you're talking from inside the cave.
Oh, I kind of am, but, you know, it has to hit you once every 2 or 3 years.
Oh, I know. Rita, I got to ask you this, and you of all people, you always are informed and know and knowledgeable about what's going on in the news. It makes you wonder, doesn't it, Rita, how safe we are, how safe our land is, how safe the Capitol is, how safe the monuments are, when some joker from Florida flies a gyrocopter, goes through the radar, goes through the air defense systems, and lands on the Capitol lawn. Doesn't it give you a little pause for worry?
I'll tell you something, the breaches of security in Washington are absolutely stunning. There should be people on top of that. There should be radar. I mean, I just can't in my wildest dreams understand why that wasn't just totally squashed almost as it happened. It's ridiculous. You know, the breaches that they've had in the fences, and I mean, a little 4-year-old just in the last few days climbed underneath the fence, and boy, they had him under gunpoint immediately, and yet they didn't do much with getting the guy that came all the way into the White House and some of that kind of stuff. I mean, what is the deal with it?
I said, and I'll stand behind it, that this administration is the most amateur run, and I believe that their security is a farce and a joke because, Rita, there is no way in the world you're going to get me to believe that if this little gyrocopter can land on the Capitol lawn, what is to say that our missile defense system is going to stop rockets in midair?
Well, and that's exactly right. I think the very biggest problem is that, you know, we had good security under the other presidents, so have the people in those agencies just declined in what they can do, or have they been given the word, this is what you'll do and this is what you won't do? And that's the part that kind of makes you worried. I know there was a lady that was testifying, and Representative Young from Iowa asked her about the people who were on ICE, and they weren't sure whether they should enforce the law as it's written or enforce the White House directive. And she said, well, they have to do what the president says. And so that right there tells you that President Obama has gone through and made a new set of rules, and you can do what I say and don't pay attention to anything else because I'm the law.
The man and his administration, this isn't the first time that I've questioned what they're doing and why they're not doing certain things. But I heard a couple of newscasters last night make jokes about this, and a couple of them snickered about this gyrocopter and this mailman from Florida landing on the Capitol lawn. I took the other side of that, Rita. I mean, I absolutely sat back and I was teed off more than you can imagine, thinking that my country, my capital, the monuments in tribute to our great past presidents and our history of our nation could have been under siege because of a very incompetent defense system, and I'm still outraged about it.
Well, it lands at the Capitol, and he supposedly had some letters that he was going to deliver to all of the congressmen. What if that had been somebody from a terrorist group had put some bombs in there, and all of a sudden it just bombed the Capitol? I mean, you never know.
This is something that's not a laughing matter, and it's something that shouldn't be taken lightly. And somebody said this morning, well, the poor guy, he probably didn't know. Just give him a slap on the wrist and let him go. No, absolutely not. I think he should have the punishment to the fullest extent of the law. If he has to spend life in prison for doing something so stupid, so be it.
Well, I definitely think he needs to go through the judicial system and see what his punishment is, and if he's got a bunch of people that want to help him get out of hock because of his fines or whatever it costs, and that's a whole different thing. But, when they do something like that, how do you know that it's not just a guy pulling a prank, basically, to prove a point? How do you know it's not a bomb, or how do you know it's not a dirty bomb?
Last hour, we were talking about, quote-unquote, stupid people. And there's a never-ending source of stupid people. And one of the people that I would put in the category at the top of the pile, if you will, is Harry Reid Jr. This man is so arrogant. This man is just absolutely so spiteful. This man is so hateful of anybody else with a difference of opinion or a different politics. And what he said yesterday when he was being interviewed and asked a question about politics and the Republican candidates that have thrown their hat in the ring for the presidency, he said, I really don't care, they're all losers. This man is despicable.
He's looking in the mirror when he's saying that person's a loser, because he's a big loser. And you'll never convince me otherwise that he is just one short of being totally intact. He is just... It just amazes me how he could get to his stature in the Senate being as stupid as he seems that he is.
But he still has the power. He still has a group of people under him that think he can walk on water, but it's this arrogance, it's this defiance, it's this hatred of anybody else that's permeating itself through Washington. Now, I got to be honest with you. I watched the rollouts, if you will, of Cruz and Rand Paul and also Marco Rubio as compared to Hillary Clinton. Now, a lot of people think I'm being prejudiced against Hillary? And yes, I am. I don't like the lady. I don't want her to be anything more than maybe a visitor at the White House. But it was so cold, so calculating, and just so anti-people person when she rolled out her introduction as the presidential nominee, as compared to these others giving personalized speeches. How in the world can people not see through that false front building facade of Hillary Clinton?
Well, that's just it. I think people are seeing it. I saw a story this morning that MSNBC had done a polling on who would vote for Hillary, and they had 50,000 people respond, and there was something like 6,216 people said that they would vote for Hillary, and all the rest said no. So I think that her campaign has a very good reason to be concerned about her support. And I also see where Elizabeth Warren is still kind of on the side, and I saw a thing where, what's his name? Is it named Chafee, who said, he's going to, I'm definitely going to run, and he's a Democrat. I think that was his name. I could be wrong. I can't remember for sure.
Well, let me throw a name at you, and you're so good at your studies and everything. But I have said this name for over 3 months on this program, that if the Democrats want to look like they're really caring and trying to share with both sides of the aisle to make politics better in America, to get more done for us, they should look at somebody like Joe Manchin from West Virginia. There is a guy that's got his head on straight. I don't agree with his policies, all of them, because he's a Democrat, but he's absolutely got his head on straight regarding energy, regarding gun control, and all these type of things. And there would be a candidate the Democrats should really embrace instead of somebody like Miss Frumpy Hillary.
Well, I honestly think that the people in Washington or in politics in general don't want to say anything about somebody opposing Hillary because of the machine that the Clintons have had for the last 25 years. I think they are totally mortified and scared to death to even say anything for fear of losing maybe even their life. I don't know. But I think that people are just totally scared, and it's kind of like, okay, we'll let her do it. And the other thing is, after 8 years of the horrible things that we've had with President Obama, it's almost like the Democrats are going to say, you know what, we better just really lay low because we're in a heap of trouble here with what we've got right now, and we don't want to try and promote somebody else. And any of these people who are saying, well, I think I'm going to run, I think they can see the writing on the wall that it's going to be a tough road to hoe, and they're just not going to get much support because of what's happened with this last Democrat president.
You know, talking about Hillary and no other choices, why? Why would they want to put all their eggs in this one basket, so to speak, with a lady, and I use that term loosely in her case because I know a lot of people that know her personally, and boy, they have not got that terminology for Hillary, but a lady that really hasn't done anything, a lady that is not a people person, a lady that doesn't want to campaign. I mean, really, seriously, you put your hat in the ring to be president, and you walk into a restaurant and you wear dark glasses and don't speak to anybody, doesn't that say something about how anti-people you really are?
Well, she is, and she also believes that it's time for her crown, and she doesn't have to wait. She's entitled to it. This is what happens when you get on the government teat for a number of years, and they have been. They've had everything furnished to them. They've had all kinds of opportunities, and the things that they didn't have given to them, they've taken. And they've never been, swatted back and saying, hey, you know what, you need to earn that. And I think that she just kind of figures it's her entitlement, and she's going to get it, and if anybody comes up against her, there's going to be repercussions that they're going to have to suffer. And so because of it, I think people are a little hesitant to do something. But the way this is rolled out, and it's so ridiculous, I think it's kind of showing that maybe in a few months it will show that she doesn't have support, and somebody else will say, you know what, in order to save our party, we're going to have to get somebody else in here. But right now, they're just going to kind of let her go out there and, oh, yeah, she's the one we want, she's the one we want. And yet I don't think they really believe that.
Let me ask you this. I know you're a very strong family person. Did you notice that whether it was Cruz, whether it was Rand Paul, or whether it was Marco Rubio, each and every one of those from the Republican Party that have thrown their hat in the ring so far, they always used the basis of family, and they had their families with them. They highlighted their moms and their dads. They highlighted their kids and their wives. Now, where has Bill Clinton been for Hillary?
He's probably been off playing. Who knows? They definitely. This is what's so different about the Democratic Party as opposed to the Republicans. The Republicans, as a general, hold the standard things, the things that have built this country, which is strong families and family-oriented things. Has always felt that it was important for families to be involved, intact, and those various different things, and that's what makes a strong America. As whereas the Democrats, they totally believe it's a me, it's a you, it's remember Hillary's favorite thing saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and that type of thing, and it's kind of like, oh, we'll do this all collectively, but we sure as heck don't need to do it individually. You don't need to worry about a family. Those are individuals. We don't need to worry about that. And they're always just trying to be the one who takes over. We're the good for the family, so let us be in charge of the family, and the family doesn't need to be in charge. So I think that's just definitely the contrast between the two parties, is that the Democrats don't seem to be pro-family, and the Republicans seem to be pro-family.
Doesn't it seem weird to you, though, and then I got to do a weather forecast, but doesn't it seem really, really odd that she has thrown her name out there for public scrutiny to officially announce for the presidency, but nowhere has Bill been with her or has spoken out for her? Doesn't that seem a little odd?
Yes, but I think on the other hand, she's probably saying, you know what, Bill, you can't be there, you can't say anything because it's got to be on my merits, and we don't want them to think that I can't do this on my own, because after all, I am woman, hear me roar, and I can do this alone, so you just stay out of the picture.
I'm going to do a weather forecast, and then I want to come back and ask you about famous women in America having their faces put on our currency. There's a big push for that, and then also a little bit about Iran, so stand by. Right now we're going to have the weather forecast, and it's brought to you by Mad River Laser. Wonderful, wonderful people. I am so proud to have them on my program. They do absolutely the first-class job. Nicole and Alex Pratt at Mad River Laser, 502 East Street, right on the square in Rupert. I mean, business, promotional items, no matter what you want, it is always first class. Every single thing that Nicole has done for me, whether it's caps, whether it's T-shirts, whatever, always first class. Please take the time, go in and see some of their store items, and you'll be absolutely amazed. They are tremendous. Nicole, Alex Pratt, Mad River Laser, 502 East Street in Rupert. Here now, Michael Rogers weather.
Hello, everyone. Michael Rogers for Zeb at the Ranch. The good news is we're done with the rain. The good news also is the temperatures start to warm up. The good news after that is the winds are going to start to die down. So, as you work your way toward the weekend, your daytime high today will be 61. By the time you get to Sunday, your daytime high will be 72. That's how cold fronts work. Sorry, they've been doing it for years. And basically, there are only so many ways that you can describe it. Warm on one side, cold on the other side. But by the same token, you're done with the rain. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
Thank you very much, Michael, and brought to everybody by Mad River Laser. I'm telling you, outstanding. All your business promotional items, anything you need with your name, your logo, whatever, they can do the job and do it the best. Mad River Laser, 502 East Street in Rupert. You stop in and see them today. I want to ask you a little bit. There's a movement right now by the women's rights groups. They say, oh, well, we're not being treated fairly. We need to have some famous women take over the men's spot on our national currency. What are your feelings about this, Rita?
I feel like they're actually barking up the wrong tree. They can do coins like they have, and the Sacagawea is on a coin, and Susan B. Anthony's on a coin, and but to take the founding fathers or presidents off of the ones who've been there for the last hundreds of years is absolutely just ridiculous. It's just their way of saying, we're way more important than any of those men ever were, and that's not true. It doesn't mean that they're not important or that they don't have, worthy things that these other people have done, but, next time they create something, like if they decide they want to make a $3 bill, they can put a woman on it or something, but to take the ones off that were there is absolutely ridiculous, I think.
One final note here this morning in the minutes that are left. I know that you have studied and followed the situation with Iran. You've heard my comments on the program in the first hours, normally when I'm talking about how ridiculous and insane it was for our negotiators, led by John Kerry, to go over and visit with Iran and not slam their fist down on the table, first and foremost, and say, now listen, there's not going to be any negotiating about your having a nuclear weapon or anything at all about lifting sanctions until you pick up the phone right here, call and tell the prison to release our 4 American prisoners and march them right straight to the American embassy and let them go. Then we'll sit down and talk. But this administration hasn't done a doggone thing.
No, they haven't, and it just makes you wonder why Obama is just so tied to this, and why he is so, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it no matter what. I mean, it's just making him look like a real idiot around the world. And for him to want to do what he's doing, I'm finally glad that they've put a few stops to him. But I guess my big question is these stops should have been done a year ago. They've had majority in the Congress for a long time, and there was enough senators that was close enough before they even changed the Senate people, with the majority. Mm-hmm. That they could have done something and just shut him down and said, hey, no, you can't. But it's taken it right up here to the day that practically that they're going to sign the papers for a group to get together in a committee and say, absolutely not, we're not going to do it. So I am grateful that they finally got their act together, but this should have been put on hold a long time ago.
Though, Rita, here we have from our own state of Idaho, Pastor Abedini, and I've had his wife Nagme on my program, and the 2 little children that they miss their daddy so much, and he did nothing more. He did nothing more than try to start an orphanage over there in his hometown area. And then we have that Marine that was over there visiting his sick grandma, and they picked him up and put him in jail, and they said he was a spy. And where is our State Department? Where is the power of John Kerry as Secretary of State, looking them in the eye and say, you want to negotiate? You want to take those sanctions off? You want to have a better life? You let those people go right now. No ifs, ands, or buts. No negotiation until they're free. But we have a gutless and neutered administration.
Well, it just makes you wonder. They didn't have any trouble negotiating with bad guys or terrorists when they wanted to bring Bo Bergdahl.
There you go.
And yet they would. We're going to do all kinds of negotiating with these terrorists. And by the way, we don't really care who they're holding. It just goes to show either they're super, super stupid, or they've got some kind of an agenda that it's like, we've got to do this, or we're all going to be, up the creek. And I just don't understand what it is, because the sanctions could very, very well take care of the issues that they've got.
Absolutely. In the time we have somebody else on the air with us. There you go. Please don't turn the other phone calls on the air. I want also to find out what's going on with the Tea Party, Rita. What's happening? I think she got cut off.
I think she did.
Whoever picked that phone up, don't let that happen again, please. And Rita, call back if you can, please. I will do a quick commercial while I'm waiting, and then we'll finish our conversation. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. And I want to acknowledge the fact that you need to make an appointment with them today at 678-1191. They are helping you get back to being you. Great friendly staff, headed up by Nick Greenwell and all of his physical therapists on the staff, doing a great job with all the exercises, sports medicine, and the hydrotherapy pool. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. Call for an appointment today, 678-1191. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation in Burley. Like I said, helping you get back to being you.
She is back on.
All right, Rita, I'm sorry. Somebody must have cut that phone line off. We got you back on. What's quickly going on with the Tea Party?
On March is already over. On May 9th, or May 14th, actually, is our next meeting. We're going to have Jim Schmelik come and give us a report on the federal lands issue within the state. There's a lot of things happening with that right now, and so he's going to come and give us a report. And we're just kind of hoping that everybody will kind of get informed and know what's going on. But I wanted to mention one thing to you, Zeb. This made me think of you. There's a YouTube, and it's called The German Speed Bump. You need to go to that and look at that, and this reminded me of you with all of your issues with the highway.
I will. The German Speed Bump. I will do that. We are fighting, I think, a losing battle over here in a speed zone that's not being enforced, and we're going to get somebody killed on this section of the highway because there are some blind spots for those of us that live on that section, and I will certainly look at that and appreciate the information. Any last words quickly about the Tea Party? Any meetings coming up that you want to acknowledge? Go ahead. I've got 30 seconds.
Nope, just a regular meeting in May, and I'll keep you informed about that.
All right. Rita, thank you so much. We appreciate your call, and the very best to you until next Thursday.
Okay, thanks, Zeb.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I love that lady. Caller, I'm sorry, I ran out of time in that segment, and I've got to get some other things in here right now, including if you're hungry and starving to death, I know exactly where you should go. Oh, have we got a great list of places. Let's start first and foremost with Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley, with the breakfast burritos. Oh, scrambled eggs, bacon or sausage, or both. And, of course, cheese, onions, tomatoes, and a special sauce on a tortilla shell. I love breakfast burritos. They are my favorite. And they're made delicious over at Taco Bandito, along with everything else. Food is fantastic. You're going to love it at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Let's not forget Burgers, etc. 2 locations, 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 North Overland in Burley. And boy, they've got hamburgers only 99 cents after 3 p.m. And every Sunday at the Burley location of Burgers, etc., they got a shrimp dinner special. You're going to love those 2 locations with the best of food for you and your family at Burgers, etc. in Rupert and Burley. You stop in and see them today. Along with our friends at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. Food made the way you like it. Delicious. Oh my goodness, they're celebrating right now their 20th anniversary of serving you with the best of lunch and dinner. They've got the pork chops with the salad and the choice of potatoes, and of course they've got Steve's nacho fries topped with cheese and jalapeno peppers. You're going to love it. You're going to love the atmosphere and the people at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. You stop in and see them today. Also, AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Oh my goodness, the famous Farmer Brown burgers, the delicious fries and the sauce and all the different shakes of all the different flavors. And then they've got the delicious brand new country fried steak on a bun. Oh, it's great. With the signature white sauce, lettuce, and Swiss cheese and the country fried steak. It's delicious. You got to stop in and try it. AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. And those are just a few places to go when you're hungry and starving to death. Do we have a quick call? We'll get them on the air. Caller real fast. Go.
Yeah, good morning. Just want to make a comment. It's not only Iran that wants a death to America, but it's Russia and China are also in cahoots with Iran, and we just saw the missiles that Russia is providing for Iran. And so I just attended a geopolitical conference, or part of the conference was that, and they pointed out how, the Chinese they have Long Beach, they have both control of both sides of the Panama Canal and so forth. So it's not just Iran that we need to be worried about. It's the so-called allies we have with all of our dealings with China and Russia. We can't trust them. They have death to America too. They want to kill America.
I agree. I got to run to the news, caller. I agree with you. We've got a lot more enemies than what we're aware of, including the dastardly terror groups like ISIS and Al Qaeda. Many more. Got to run to the news. God bless everybody. Have a great day. I'll be right back in about 6 minutes with more Zeb at the Ranch. Welcome back. Hour number 3, Zeb at the Ranch. I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. And it's a big spring tire sale going on right now at all 7 locations of your Les Schwab Tire Centers right here in Magic Valley. Along with our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, along with Lennox Home Comfort Systems, and our friends over at Valley-Wide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch. We thank them very much. Oh, let's see what else have we got here on our list of to-do things before we get to Cassia County School Days. Let's see. Oh, by the way, story we did earlier this week, and I want to mention this. The 3rd grade teacher in New Jersey that had the kids in her 3rd grade send get-well messages to a cop killer at the New Jersey State Prison. It was absolutely insane. Well, now when she was pressed and might lose her job for doing something so stupid, she is putting the blame on the kids. They had a press conference yesterday, and I saw that press conference, and this 3rd grade New Jersey school teacher, no, the kids wanted to do it, so I just helped them. She's trying to shift the blame to her 3rd graders for doing something so insane. This cop killer walked up to a policeman about 8-9 years ago and shot him point blank in the forehead. He's just an absolute animal, and this teacher wanted the kids to send get well wishes. He's having some problems with his health in prison. Good. And she wanted the kids to send well wishes to a convicted cop killer. And now she's blaming the kids. She should be fired and no benefits whatsoever. She shouldn't be teaching children in a public school system. We're going to move right now, and I hope she's on the line momentarily, but before we get her on the line, Kyle Hodges is going to be our guest for Cassia County School Days, but I've got some things I got to take care of here first. The Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley. What is on the menu for today? Listen to this. Fried polenta, topped with pulled pork and tomato bean salad, served with veggies and super salad. Now that is different, and it sounds really good. Fried polenta with pulled pork and tomato bean salad. Woo, that is the special for today at the Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley. You stop in and see them today. All was great. That thing scared me to death. I keep forgetting to turn that off. All was great food items along with menu items. You're going to love the Chadwick Sports Grill. Nice people, too. 139 West Main in Burley. And a little bit later on this morning, don't forget at 10:30, we're going to have Vicky's Country Garden on the program. I just wanted to alert you of that. And before we go any further, I also want to remind you about Streamline Precision. Excuse me. Streamline Precision at 120 South, 100 West of Burley, next to Dot Foods. Call Tim Vaughn today at 431-7314 for the estimates on things that you need built. Construction, excavation, fabrication services. They're actually a family of companies at Streamline Precision, and they're building all the grain bins for on-the-farm storage, and they're an authorized dealer for Sukup, Chief Balin, and Nucor buildings. And as I've been telling you, they have the big side dump trucks that can handle all your dirt hauling needs, and they've got the big rigs for hauling your big farm equipment from one farm to a field, back to the farm, etc. They can get the job done for you. Please give them a call today, 431-7314. Streamline Precision, the professionals working for you. Let's go to the phone lines right now, and it is time for a lovely lady that's been on our program before, Cassia County School Days, and we're going to be visiting in just a few moments with Kyle Hodges. Stand by. Our sponsors for Cassia County School Days are A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. And by the way, they have got all kinds of new spring clothes and dresses. And if you're celebrating having a brand new baby, they've got all the 5-piece baby outfits for just $15, and you get gift wrapping free. And they've got white short sleeve shirts for the boys, and they've got all the games and the puzzles. What a place, a family place. A Child's World, 1308 Overland in Burley. And they team up with our other sponsor for Cassia County School Days, and that's the Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland in Burley. Over 100 procedures are performed every month right there, saving a lot of the residents of this area hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Eye surgeries, knee surgeries, colonoscopies, and many, many more. With well-trained doctors serving you, all you have to do is call the number and find out more, 677-8888. Ambulatory Surgery Center, along with the Child's World, bringing you school days in Cassia County. Right now, let's go to the phone line. Hello, Kyle Hodges. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Nice to have you on the program. And Kyle, I'm going to kind of let you be the game show host, and you're going to pick the category. What are we going to talk about this morning?
Oh, well, we can talk about getting ready to register for school. We have our kindergarten registration that we just had yesterday. So we're counting down the end of this year and looking forward to starting another year next year. So we've got lots of excitement going on for our school district and with our bond passing, and we've got lots of positive things going on right now for the school district. But it's important to remind all of our parents that as we have kindergarten registration and children getting ready to move from 6th grade to 7th grade, it's time to make sure that parents look at their children's immunization records and get all of those things that they need to have updated done before school starts next year. So,
all right.
That's kind of an important piece that I'm working on today as we just had all of the registration start for next year.
Okay. Kyle, you have touched on the subject. You know I will not back up. I'm one of these people that absolutely is demanding that immunizations take place. Some schools across the country are demanding that no one is going to be allowed in the school doors if they don't have their immunizations. They're really, I think, doing the right thing and trying to enforce that they don't want to take any risks. Where do we stand here in the state of Idaho, and more specifically, where do you stand in Cassia County?
Well, I'm in total agreement with you, and I think that because of the fact that we did just have the recent outbreak of measles, that has really raised awareness across the country for the importance of vaccinations and preventing diseases that we really can eradicate by making sure that families are immunizing their children. And as you pointed out, it really is something that states are doing. I learned today that there are two states, Mississippi and New Jersey, that really do not allow anybody to come to school with exemptions unless it's a medical exemption that really is a legitimate health concern that they have filed. And we do have a high exemption rate in our state, which is alarming. And if we do have illnesses and diseases
we do pull those students, and we have access to who they are in our schools. So in the event that we did have an incidence of a disease in one of our schools, we would be able to know who those students are that have those exemptions, and they would not be allowed to come to school. So, with that being said, if we really lessen the number of our exemptions across the country, it would really lessen these outbreaks that we're having.
Kyle, why is it a problem? I mean, why is it a problem when you set rules and regulations? You set rules at school that kids can't do certain things within the school. You set rules around the perimeter of the school that people are not allowed on the property without checking in at the office first, that type of thing. Well, if there's a rule and a regulation about shots and immunizations, why isn't it being followed to the letter?
Well, and that's hard to say, because I think probably it all boils down to we want kids to get an education, we want them to be in school, and we want them to learn and to be successful. And so that one piece of a requirement, we ask parents to provide that information, just like we ask them to provide a birth certificate for that one simple requirement that we have. But I think we expect people to be compliant, and we allow them that flexibility. And I think over the years we've just kind of let down and become relaxed with our paperwork. And I can see really a shift for that in the last few years. We've made people more accountable. Our secretaries have enforced that requirement, and our numbers really are greatly improving. And every year we do see a reflection that we have fewer and fewer exemptions. But despite that, 1,500 exemptions across the state of Idaho is a huge number.
I can't put up with that. I can't as a talk show host, and I can't allow that to happen as a person that has seen the dark side of not being immunized. I will not put up with that.
Well, and, as you said in the past, this year it was measles. Next year very likely could be something else.
Yes.
We have whooping cough cases that still pop up every single year. But, the worst case scenario would be polio or some of these other diseases that we've considered eradicated and we haven't seen for years and years. So, the likelihood is that as people travel internationally, those are the kind of things that really we always fear them occurring again in the future. And so by really adhering and having people really be respectful and mindful of how important it is to have these immunizations, I think it does make a difference. And our school district really is working hard to make a difference, and we put out information, and our secretaries work diligently to collect all of these immunization records and import them into our school files, and to make sure that we have a tracking system that we can report to the state. And our numbers are improving every single year, but it is a big, big challenge, and I think that we just need to make sure that we have parents on board that really appreciate the importance of this.
And the thing is, after you were on the program with me, probably a month and a half ago, I had a call, and it infuriated me. It was from a woman, and she didn't state her name or anything. She just said, "Who do you think you are, talking to me, telling us that we should go out and immunize our children? How dare you?" And I finally couldn't handle it anymore. And I said, "Ma'am, I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm a person that developed polio at age 5 and was not expected to live. I'm a person that went through 20 surgeries on my legs. I'm a person that just avoided dying in an iron lung. I'm a person that has had all these problems in my life because I didn't get the Salk vaccine. How dare you call me and chastise me about immunization programs?" And that's why I'm so absolutely livid about 1,500 oops on the lack of immunizations.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I have seen these iron lungs. There's so few of them, probably nationwide, that people have never visually seen the ramifications of that terrible, terrible disease. And, I just think people just think it won't happen to them, and it's it's something that really doesn't affect them at home.
Actually, I don't mean to interrupt you there, Kyle, but there's a point you need to stop right there, and we need to make another point. Just because the immunization programs have worked so well in this country doesn't mean that we can be lax and stop, because right now we have an open, porous border system to where people are coming in from South America, they're coming in from Mexico, they're coming in from God knows where, and we are opening ourselves up for another deluge of that same disease.
Right.
Don't leave me hanging. Keep talking, my dear.
Well, and I very much share your concern. And as a nurse, I mean, this is an educational piece to really open the conversation. And I do think that probably in light of the recent measles outbreak, it really has been a conversation starter. So I think if anything positive came out of that, it probably did make a huge difference. That I'm certain that the conversations have been held. But, you know, as you said, you've had a phone conversation. There are people out there that are adamantly of the opinion that they do not want their children immunized. And it's those people that I think don't recognize that their children are at risk, but they also are putting others at risk that are not fully vaccinated.
And the reason this happened, Kyle, let's be very honest, is because a couple of big notarized Hollywood stars shot their mouths off about a situation that they knew absolutely nothing about, and the public listened to them. Mm-hmm. There you go, going again. Kyle, I don't mean to leave you hanging, but I really do appreciate it. You do a wonderful job. You know that this is one of my passions. You came on the program, and I just think I have a lot of respect for you and your ability as the Cassia County school nurse. I really do.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you having me.
And I'll bet you when you hang up the phone, you're going to wipe your brow and say, "Boy, am I glad that's over."
No, I share your passion on this subject because it's something that, you know, really is pivotal to my job and keeping the students in our school district healthy. It's something that is very, very important.
I appreciate you, Kyle. Come back, please. I promise next time I'll try to rein myself in.
We'll pick a different topic.
I'll probably end up on the same. Thank you, Kyle Hodges. I appreciate it. God bless you. Thanks. A wonderful lady right there, Cassia County school nurse, Kyle Hodges. And she is a very nice lady, and I appreciate her coming on. Don't forget, Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn, celebrating 20-year anniversary. Oh, they want to thank the community for coming in for lunch and dinner. They want to thank everybody that's made their last 20 years just absolutely excellent, and they look forward to 20 more. You better believe it. Food made just the way you like it. At Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 West of Hayburn. You stop in and see those good folks today. All right, let's see where we're at here. Let's see if Old Wheels has got our next guest waiting on the phone line. And I believe we're going to be talking to Joel Heward over at Hanson Mortuary. Good morning, Joel. Are you there?
I am getting him on the line, sir.
All right, you just go right ahead, Wheels. I appreciate it. And get him ready to go. And I'll tell everybody, too, real quick, Lennox Home Comfort Systems at Ramsey Heating and Electric. They're offering qualified rebates on Lennox Home Comfort Systems, whether it's a gas furnace, air conditioner, or a heat pump. You and your family will enjoy the comfort. Call Ramsey Heating and Electric today, 678-0459. At Ramsey Heating and Electric, they sell warm winters and cool summers with Lennox. Let's check with Old Wheels. Do we have him on the phone line?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good morning to Joel Heward. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I have never seen you when you're not smiling and just enjoying life. How are you, Joel?
I'm doing great, and I guess I've been accused of smiling too much, but that's better than not smiling enough.
Oh, I don't think you could ever be accused of smiling too much. You know, I got a couple of quick questions here for you in this segment this morning. And when we reach a certain age or mentality, all of a sudden it kind of hits us right between the eyes that we're not going to live forever. And a lot of people need to understand, me included, that maybe you better start making some thoughts and process towards death and dying and funerals. Do you find that a lot of people just keep putting it off because they don't want to think about it?
Well, definitely. It's not the most pleasant subject to want to talk about because it really is emotional. And as much as we try to hide it and deal with it, it really is an emotional process that we go through when someone passes. And I suppose that's why, but a lot of that can be eliminated with pre-planning, and that's a big part of what we do. I mean, we have, I guess the side that gets the most attention is the at-need, or people that are experiencing a death.
Right.
Gets the most publicity or the most attention at the time, but it really is just half of what we do, and the other half is the pre-planning and pre-arrangements.
Joel, when you sit down with people, I would imagine that it's hard for them to ask the questions because, again, they don't want to say it. They don't want to talk about their possible passing away. Do you have kind of a checklist that you break the ice and just kind of start asking them questions?
Well, I always start with my smile.
There you go.
Sure, yeah, we have all kinds of questions, and with the popularity of cremation and just the diversity of our families and the lifestyles that we live, and the rapid ability to traverse the country, cremation is an ever-growing, more popular subject and way of disposition, and it's a big part of what we do, just to educate people about their options with cremation. And I guess I was taught in a conference a while back by this gentleman, and he said, if you're not embracing cremation, you're behind in your profession. And he said the one thing you need to keep in mind is that those families that want cremation, all they know most of the time is that they want cremation.
Yeah.
And that meaning they do not understand or fully understand all of the options that are available to them when they choose cremation services.
And one thing too, and I've only got a short period of time here this morning, I'm going to have you back on for a longer segment in the future, but by planning these out, these funerals, and coming up with the ideas as to what you want for your service, etc., you're really, really saving a lot of time, effort, and worry for the rest of the family, aren't you?
Definitely. I've had a couple experiences this week with some families that we're working with, where we have a gentleman has had this prearrangement for going on close to 15 plus years. This particular gentleman didn't have any family, but the people that are left to see that his wishes are fulfilled, they will show up here on Saturday to attend the services, and everything will be planned as was directed by the gentleman. These people are able to come and pay their tributes, and they've all had a part in his final years. But they'll come to pay their tributes, and the service will be as he wished.
Absolutely.
Nobody's had to come in. No one's had to stop by. No one's had to travel, 3 and 4 hours or more to come in and meet with us. It's all been handled over the phone so far because of the arrangements that this gentleman put into place with us.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, the gentleman put everything in place, had everything organized, and like you've told me many times on this program, that at the last minute, with only a matter of hours to get everything taken care of, there's always an oversight, and there could be an oops that might embarrass the family.
Definitely, and we severely try to avoid those. We don't, nobody wants that. We want it to go smooth. It's not a repeat of something that we're doing. It needs to be correct the very first time, and we work very diligently to do that. And that's why earlier I say the at-need, the people that come in because they've experienced the death, gets the most attention or the most publicity, you could say, of our business, but it really is half of what we do. The other half is all beforehand.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very proud to have these folks be a part of my program every day, and that's Joel Heward of Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. Number to call, 436-5636. Joel, keep that smile on your face. It's a trademark. God bless you, and have a wonderful weekend, okay?
One more minute?
Yeah, just quick. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, just a reminder, mortuaries and funeral homes are different than any other business, meaning we can't have sales, we can't have, a holiday sale, but I guess if there is one holiday that is a funeral director's holiday, that's Memorial Day. And that's coming up at the end of next month, and I want to offer to any of these folks in the Magic Valley a special opportunity to come in, particularly with cremation, if they have had a cremation take place and they're planning to bury those cremated remains. I have a special price set aside just until Memorial Day for anybody that wants help to get that arranged. I'm not going to give the price over the air, but it is very, very, very affordable.
All right.
At this time, and we also have temporary markers for anybody that hasn't been able to arrange for a marker at a cemetery.
All right. Joel, if you'll send me some more of that information, I'll keep highlighting it on the air. And God bless you, sir. Joel Heward, Hanson Mortuary, 436-5636. Thank you very much, and I'll be in touch. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you very much. We're going to run back over to our main studios. We've got this break with Wheels, and we'll be right back.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Oh, thank you very much. I got to run. I am so late this morning. Vicky at Vicky's Country Gardens is on the program with us right now with Gardening for Idiots. Good morning, the lovely Miss Vicky. How are you?
Just fine, Zeb. We've got spring back again. We had a little snow and a lot of wind, and now we got sunshine, and it's going to get nice again.
Well, Vicky, I apologize. I'm running a little bit late this morning, but my first question to you this morning is not from a listener, but it's from Deanne and I. Boy, with the flowers coming out and the grass green and the people that did plant some of their garden already, and then to have the old ice hanging off the wheel lines for almost a full day, how much damage did that cold weather do?
It really, the stuff that was coming up is ready for that kind of thing. It didn't really hurt anything. If you had a tomato out, yeah, you were pretty much a done deal on that. But if it's peas and onions and that, they're fine. They're tough. It was cold, but it wasn't that killer cold like down in the teens and that.
Yeah.
So, actually, I don't think anybody got too much damage. The wind probably did more damage than the cold.
Really?
And the wind always does more damage, usually. It stresses the plants to no end when that wind gets to beating on them. So that was the main problem with everything. But as far as I can tell, we had plants out in it. We had onions and the little toughies, not pansies, but toughies.
There you go. You remembered.
And they did fine. Of course, the snow never really found the ground, so we didn't have to worry about snow laying on anything.
Well, we had, I don't know how it was over in your area, but we did have the ground covered for about an hour, 2 hours over here, and the wind was howling about 50-mile-an-hour gusts and everything, and I just wondered how much damage. And these flowers then, all these bushes, they must be really confused as to what's going on.
They are. They had that nice warm March, and now we're getting March weather in April like we should have had last month, and they wouldn't have been out as far if we'd had this weather last month. But this is Idaho, and we just take what we get. So, but they'll be fine. As soon as they warm up, you'll be surprised. They'll pick their heads up, and they'll come right back out. They'll be fine.
Now, I did notice prior to that storm, the day before, the temperatures were in the 70s, and the bugs were all over everything. What about taking care of the insects bright and early this time of the year? Is it too early, or is it time to get the insecticide?
Well, it's really kind of time to start watching for what kind of bugs are out there. It is time to, start spraying. Just don't spray fruit trees if they're blooming, because you'll kill all the blooms. If the frost didn't, you will.
Okay.
So don't spray your fruit trees until they're completely through blooming. But as far as bushes and things like that, yeah, you can go ahead and start spraying. I don't really think the bugs that are out right now are the bugs that are going to do any damage to the plant. I haven't seen any aphids out in the open. Hasn't been quite warm enough for I'm sure the last few nights set them back a ways. So I wouldn't get too concerned yet, but if we get some warm weather that stays with us for, a week, 10 days, then start watching for them and get your sprays and stuff down. Time to get systemic down on trees. Get your systemic in so that the bugs, the beetles and that can't get into your trees and do damage.
All right. I had, last week, if you remember, I asked you the question about garden seed, and some people said that they were wondering whether you buy it, if it's good seed, bad seed, or just, mediocre. And then I had a lady call me, and she said, I brought some garden seed last year from my mother in Minnesota and planted it here, and it was almost worthless. How would you respond to that?
Well, it just depends on how old the seed was. It doesn't really make any difference where it came from. It's how old and what kind of care the seed it had. If seed is kept at a cool temperature and kept dry, the germination holds pretty good. If the temperatures fluctuate and it's in a spot where it gets real hot, and then it freezes and it gets real hot in the summertime, and then, that affects germination. So, I don't know, to me it's always best to kind of, on a lot of the finer seeds, is to buy what you need for the year and then buy fresh again in the spring.
Okay. Now,
unless you've got a really good place to keep it.
Every year for the last couple of years you've been on the program, we've talked about this subject, but honestly, Vicki, if you could come over to my place, you'd see it's absolutely being deluged with voles. They're all over the place. I think this is the worst year we've ever seen.
I've had a lot of people saying this. We didn't have a tough enough winter to kill anything.
Yeah.
And they're really thick. They are. They're very, very bad. They're very invasive, and they are doing a lot of damage. And the problem is you can put the baits down and stuff. You're going to get some of them, but you're not going to get them all. There are different things that you can put out. There are some sonic stakes that you can put in around your yard that puts out an irritating sound to them and makes them leave. We've got people using those that are getting by pretty good with them. There's the poison grains, there's the castor oil bait, there's all different kinds of things that they go by smell. They don't like the smell of the castor oil. That can run them off. But they are a problem, a big problem, and I don't know what we're going to do. Unfortunately, they haven't gotten any diseases that have wiped them out, and they are thick this year.
Absolutely.
They're really bad. The farmers are fighting them pretty hard, too.
Around my arena, and you know where I live, it's so bad right now with the vole holes, I can't even walk around it on my crutches, and I'm not trying to be facetious because of the holes.
Oh, yeah, they're dangerous because they tunnel under, and you don't see it, and you step on it, and they fall away from you.
Yeah.
It's a tunnel underneath there, so I tell you, I don't know what to tell people. I've tried everything. Like I say, there's all kinds of baits and stuff you can put out, but it's an ongoing problem, and you just have to keep making sure that bait is really fresh and out good and strong, and try to run them away from areas that you don't want them, There's a lot of people that I've got smoke bombs that you can put down in the tunnels and smoke them out.
Yeah.
Sulfur bombs, you can try those. There's a lot of different ways, but, they're a problem. The problem is you get rid of them for a while, and then they come back. So you've got to be right on top of it as soon as you see them, getting right back after them.
Absolutely. Vicki, I apologize. I'm running a little bit late this morning, but I want to ask you, talk about the garden seeds, talk about everything for their garden, their planting and everything. Tell us what you've got over there at Vicki's Country Garden, ready for people to come on in and get ready for this season.
Well, we've got a new shipment of spud seed in, so we're loaded with spud seed to where it's time to get the spuds in. We've got all of our garden seed in fresh. We've got all of the chemicals to put in, put down in the garden to stop the bugs and things from getting to your seed. We've got tomatoes, peppers. We've got about everything there. As soon as it warms up, we've got everything they need.
Well, and tell everybody where you're located. You've got a really accessible location.
Well, we do have, and we're right between Burley and Paul. We're right on the Burley-Paul Highway. You can't really miss us. The greenhouses kind of stand right out there. And we do have easy access, and if they're wanting a lot of compost, we can load in 10-wheelers. I've got a tractor that I can load in pretty much any size pickup up to 10-wheelers and that type of thing if they're needing a bunch. So.
And did you hear what the lady said earlier this morning when she started on this program? Miss Vicki said, we have toughies, not pansies. I love it. Tell everybody, in case they missed the program last week, why we're talking about toughies, not pansies.
Well, the original pansies, I don't know how they got that name, because they can withstand snow and wind and ice and cold. They are the toughest little plant out there. They bloom through anything, and they are literally the toughest thing you'll come across as far as a bedding plant. and that's where their Tuffy name came from.
All right. Well, listen, the lady that knows all about the Toughies and all your gardening needs at Vicky's Country Garden, 185 South 600 West DePaul, number to call 438-5663. Going to be a nice weekend. Everybody get outside. Stop over to Vicky's Country Garden. God bless you, Vicky. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Zeb. Have a good weekend.
God bless. Thank you.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people right there, the lovely Miss Vicky. It's time for the weather forecast brought to you by Scarrows Meats. And they're located at 331 North Road, Jerome. Number to call 324-7657 with the $300 tax return meat package. What's that? Well, the very best of beef and pork and chicken and cheese. Check it out today. Give them a call, 324-7657. They sell taste one bite at a time. Here now, Michael Rogers weather.
Hello, everyone. Michael Rogers for Zeb at the Ranch. The good news is we're done with the rain. The good news also is the temperatures start to warm up. The good news after that is the winds are going to start to die down. So, as you work your way toward the weekend, your daytime high today will be 61. By the time you get to Sunday, your daytime high will be 72. That's how cold fronts work. Sorry, they've been doing it for years. And basically, there are only so many ways that you can describe it. Warm on one side, cold on the other side. But by the same token, you're done with the rain. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
Thank you, Michael. Don Scarrow and Scarrow's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. Telephone number 324-7657. They do sell taste one bite at a time. Let's go to the phone lines, and I want to upfront apologize to this lady for an abbreviated segment. I'm going to beg and really ask her to come back again next week for a longer period. Kathleen Hartnett-White, are you there, please?
Yes, I am. Good morning to you.
God bless you for your patience. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to you, but you have a subject that is near and dear to my heart, and that's talking about energy or the lack of. And you're going to tell us a little bit about how Germany and their subsidization of green energy is sending that nation into an energy and financial crisis. Talk a little bit about that, Kathleen, if you would, please.
I'd be happy to. Germany, about 2008, I think, they passed a very, very aggressive federal law to rush to renewables, to replace coal, natural gas, and even nuclear. And they've been going at this at a very fast speed, and what, among other things that have happened, is their retail electric prices now are 3 times higher than the average price in the United States. And there, you can Google organizations like the Energy Consumers of Germany, and you see really startling facts that reporting that perhaps 800,000 homes no longer can afford electricity and are cut off and have reverted to burning wood chips. And in fact, the U.S. exports a lot of our wood chips to there, and they're Germany's about the most highly industrialized economy in Europe and has been for decades, kind of the home of high-powered industry, and they're looking to other countries to relocate. And some of their, Minister of Energy and things like that talks about the risk of radical deindustrialization. And remember, they're sort of the pivot state in big-time global geopolitics involving Vladimir Putin. And they're dependent on importing natural gas from him. But it's a mess. It's what some people call the first energy regression in all of human history since the Industrial Revolution, which was really only about 200 years ago, and that's when man, for the first time, really found the concentrated energy in coal and natural gas and oil, and it transformed the world.
Let me ask you,
taking a step backward.
Let me ask you a couple of questions there, Kathleen, because you're very knowledgeable about this. We're talking about Germany. We're talking about cutbacks in their energy system, and they're trying to make green energy work. Well, right away, you can see the correlation with this President Obama and the damming, if you will, of coal and fossil fuels fuels and the promotion of a system that's not going to work, and that's wind and solar power. Let me ask you this question. Does Germany have some semblance of a governmental authority like we do called the EPA? And if they don't have one, they're lucky, because the EPA, in the circumstances you mentioned about Germany, wouldn't let us burn those extra wood chips.
Well, that may be true, but and I totally agree with the point you just made. But I might add that right now, to be finalized this summer, which is rapidly approaching, EPA, in defiance of Congress, which is the way it's supposed to work in our democracy, in defiance of Congress, EPA has now proposed and will finalize an extremely aggressive energy plan that will be mandatory, that is much like or worse than Germany's. We have not yet begun it, but it is is in the legal pipeline of EPA's. It's called the Clean Power Plan in most newspapers and references to it, but it is putting the United States on a path like Germany.
Why in the world would we as a society and our senators and our congressmen be that dumb that they can't stand up according to the rights of our Constitution and the rights of what our senators and Congress have to do with the president or against the president, and especially to the EPA that does not have any congressional powers? Why aren't our people that we put in office standing up and saying no?
Well, some of them have, and in the U.S. House of Representatives in the previous session, before the majority in the Senate changed, passed many bills standing up to this. Of course, Harry Reid wouldn't even let them get on the Senate floor, but there is recognition in the U.S. Congress. I hate to be partisan, but I mean, it's not surprisingly, it's on, for the most part, the Republican side. But things like this Clean Power Plan even evoke the ire and opposition of a number of Democrats, because guess who hurts with grand green schemes like this? It's the middle and low income people that feel the pain. Yeah. The wealthiest elites don't feel the pain.
Absolutely.
So this really does touch a broader range of policymakers, but just as we saw with the Keystone Pipeline for so many years, our president will veto legislation that stands up to EPA.
Yeah. We have a caller with a quick question, and caller, I'm going to cut you off if you're on the air more than 20 seconds. I'm running short on time. Go ahead quickly.
Yes, I don't know if you happen to notice, either one of you, the statement that Carly Fiorina had said about California and how they haven't built a dam in 40 years, and then they're complaining about drought when all the rainwater goes to the ocean, and if we fill the oceans up higher, like they say, the water sea level's rising. These people don't know which end is up, but I'll hang up. Thanks.
Respond to that if you would, please, Kathleen. Go ahead.
Well, that was a good point. The amount of water that goes to the sea and is denied to human beings, the volume of it that goes for the endangered Delta smelt is unbelievable. In fact, I would hazard to say that the governors of California's recent announcement, for the first time ever, some kind of 25% reduction of all energy use, I hazard to say that would not have to happen. I don't know. I think I was a former environmental regulator. I believe in appropriate environmental regulation. I believe in appropriate regulation to protect wildlife. But you can't make it, a zero-sum game, that it's all for the environment and nothing for human beings. It's possible to have win-win, but environmentalism has become, for some, like a religion.
Yeah.
And also, many have made billions with all the government subsidies and grants on renewable energy and other things. So it's kind of the issue of our age.
Kathleen, let me ask you this quick question right there, in accordance with what you were saying and also the caller. Are we in the 11th hour or past the 11th hour? Is Cinderella's coach going to turn into a pumpkin tomorrow? How much time are you looking at? And what can we do with our Senate and our congressmen to avoid this idiocy being perpetrated by this Obama administration?
So what I think, and whether it's a local, state, or national election, these energy issues really have to come to the top. They're not peripheral issues. They're not just a little more expensive regulation. They're, they're turning backward rather than going forward. And so that, I think, has to happen, because if you look at the timelines, if a rule like EPA's actually is adopted and has the force of law and courts don't stop it, it's on a short time frame. Adoption this summer, and the effective date is the year after that, in 2016.
Oh,
so
my.
this is, I think, 11th hour.
All right. We have a caller with a quick question, and I know I'm short on time, and I'm being rude cutting you off there. I apologize. Caller, real fast. I'm only going to give you a few seconds for your question.
Can you repeat that number for Germany again?
Well, if you
on the
if you
website.
just Google, it's not an email. I don't know exact link or email address, but Google energy consumers of Germany, or Google energy poverty in Germany.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your call.
Wide variety of things.
Kathleen, do you think it's a naivete, a not caring, and uneducated? What is it with the American public that they're allowing themselves to be duped into a green energy program that is not going to be a turn-on switch energy? We're going to be living in caves and burning buffalo dung.
Well, I think that I think it's hard for many people to believe they can't trust their government anymore.
Yeah.
EPA uses, I would call, pure propaganda to advance these things, and has given a jillion totally unfounded justifications. Now they just are beginning a campaign to try to convince people that childhood asthma is caused by greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide is an odorless, harmless gas, natural gas in our atmosphere. It's called by many the gas of life. It's what is necessary for plant growth, and fertilizers based on natural gas, a fossil fuel, have enormously increased the entire global food supply.
Absolutely.
So those basic facts need to be in the forefront.
Let me quickly say this, Kathleen. I want to invite you back next week. I'll be in touch with you. I'm out of time in this segment, and for that matter, the program today. Please tell me you'll come back. You're very knowledgeable, and I have a lot of respect for your articulation on this subject. Tell us you'll come back, and I'll give you a call, and we'll have a schedule for next week that's a longer term.
It would be my pleasure. I'm very glad to be on your show.
God bless you, and thank you so much, and I will be in touch, I promise. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen,
Idaho.
Thank you, Kathleen Hartnett-White, and she is the Senior Fellow and Director of the Center for Energy and Environment at Texas Public Policy Foundation. Thank you very much. Ooh, I am running late. I want to remind everybody about a spring tire sale going on at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations. Great big tire sale going on with the best of tires for your passenger cars like the Ultra Z900. All-season design, and this is a really good tire for you, including the Open Country AT2 on sale for your pickups and SUVs. Don't forget the very best of people working for you with, of course, the best in brake service, front-end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. You stop in and see Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes in Twin Falls, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, John on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. Big spring tire sale going on at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Holy cow, we're running, and I don't run so good. But anyway, we're going to say wrap it up for today, and thanks to Wheels over at the main station. We'll see you next Monday at 8:06. Zeb at the Ranch, God bless. The way things were are the way things ought to be. Have a wonderful weekend.